What up, y'all? Let's get back to it. It's not a podcast. It's just my thoughts with Rob Markman. I hope everybody who celebrates had a happy Thanksgiving and everybody as well with their families and loved ones. All right. Getting back to talking about and breaking down these Kendrick Lamar GNX tracks. I don't know if I'm gonna do every one. I still don't know if I'm gonna do every one. I don't know if I have something to say about every track. Like, I don't want to force it. It's something that I absolutely have a feel. It's a natural conversation I want to have with y'all. But today I want to talk about Squabble Up. When the album first dropped last week, I said that I felt like this had like single energy to me, right? That it would pick up where Not Like Us left off, just because of the feel, the way it just makes you want to move, the energy on the record, and the catchiness of the record, and just the feeling and how it makes you feel. We'll see in a few days, but the record has a shot at being the number one record on the Billboard Hot 100. It's going to chart high, so we'll see where it actually lands. You know, I think lyrically, a lot of this record, of course, with Kendrick, there's always going to be the entendres and things like that. But compared to his other records, a lot of this record is on the surface. Like, he's just telling you like it is. He's being very straight up and very direct. I don't think there's like too much hidden meaning. But when you couple this with the music video, there's a lot of rich cultural references within this song and within this experience of Squabble Up. It's produced by Soundwave, Jack Antonoff, M-Tech, Bridgeway, and Kendrick himself has a production credit on it. I think a lot of people are surprised to see all the work that Jack Antonoff has been doing with Kendrick lately. He's from the band The Bleachers, most successful for his production and songwriting and partnerships with Taylor Swift. They work hand in hand together across multiple projects and hits. He's also worked with Lorde and Lana Del Rey and Sabrina Carpenter. Jack is a pop guy, but you know, he's a brilliant songwriter. I've got to interview him for Genius before, and just diving into his songwriting and the way his mind works. Brilliant guy, brilliant musician. So I'm not really surprised at this. And if I had to guess, I think the connection to Soundwave, because Soundwave worked with Taylor and Jack on Taylor's Lovers album, on the Midnight's album, and you know, and so I think maybe it started there. And then, you know, Jack had a credit on 616 in LA and all of these GNX tracks. So if I had to track the connection and how that worked, I think it was Soundwave working with them on Taylor stuff, and then him and Soundwave, you know, working and then bringing ideas to Kendrick. If I had to guess, I don't know. So the base of the song, the sample is Debbie Deb's 80s freestyle hit, When I Hear Music. Very like popular song. And the, you know, I had said before that, and I wasn't sure, just me being from New York, freestyle and this type of dance music was huge in New York. I mean, we still have radio stations like KTU, like dance stations that play it. Hot 97, which was New York's first hip hop dance station. New York's first hip hop station prior to being a hip hop station. And that happened in 93, maybe 92. 92, I think, is when we first got our first hip hop 24/7 station, was Hot 97. Prior to that, Hot 97 was a dance station and used to play freestyle music, dance records like Debbie Deb's When I Hear Music all the time. So I know it was big in New York. Clearly had an influence in LA. You know, when I brought it up the last time, a lot of y'all in the comments had told me like, nah, this was big on the West Coast too. And I know Miami, I know it was big in Miami. So just this freestyle culture, this music. So, you know, right away it's designed to make you move, man. This was a big dance hit in the 80s. And so if you sample it, what are you going to get? You're going to get something that makes you want to move. So first time we heard this song was in July when Dot dropped the Not Like Us video. This was the song that played and previewed in the beginning, like Dot does so many times. And back then, you know, I guess we assumed it was called Broccoli just because of the lyrics, but you know, so it's Squabble Up. And so the first couple of bars, right, it's just starting, the beat is just building, it's just starting up, and reincarnated. I was stargazing. Life goes on. I need all my babies. Boom. Then the beat hits. One thing about Dot that I think is amazing is how self-referential he is. And it was a TDE thing too. Like in the early days, they would interpolate lyrics from each other. They would borrow from each other. They would use phrases throughout their music that built upon each other. You know, a lot of times rappers, I do it myself. If I want to get a point across, sometimes I'll take a lyric from Jay or Big and reinterpolate it and to help me get through a verse, or to help really just express what I want to express. And Kendrick does that too clearly on this album. He interpolates big. Ain't no other kings in this rap things. They siblings, nothing but my cheering. One shot, they disappearing. But what Kendrick had always been the master of doing is he could take lyrics from soul, from Q, from and from kind of the underground songs, and they would just build upon it, and it would build the legacy and the lore of TDE. But Kendrick would also interpolate or reference himself and his own things and his own catalog, and go back and just very self-referential. He did a lot of that on the Damn album, where he would reference song titles or song themes in the track listing like 3 songs before they came in or something like that. There was a lot of that on Damn. So just to me, the reincarnated part foreshadows another standout song on the album. And when we first hear it on Not Like Us in the video, when we just hear him start out reincarnated, I was stargazing. Like, none of us thought, oh man, Reincarnated is going to be one of those songs that's on the next Kendrick album that we're going to love. You know what I'm saying? But it's kind of like planting seeds in that way. And even how this comes early in the track listing and Reincarnated. So just a cool little like nugget. Like, and Kendrick does this a lot as part of his songwriting and his creative process. So Reincarnated, I was stargazing, life goes on, I need all my babies. I mean, just a reference to him as a dad. Kendrick still has 2 young children, rapped about his children a lot, of course, included them on the cover of Mr. Morale. So, I think, he's still, we have more music with Kendrick, not as a father. And, Kendrick as a dad is still relatively a new, for lack of a better word, a new era of Kendrick Lamar. Life goes on, I need all my babies. It's just clear how fatherhood has affected him. And so, that's just what it is. As a father, I can relate. I need all my kids, man. I got 2 sons. I need all my babies, man. And my sons are grown men now or young men right now. And so, but they still my babies, man. So it's that, and maybe possibly again, only Kendrick knows. I'm very careful about assigning meaning to people's lyrics because only Kendrick knows what he meant. But maybe a dig at Drake. If part of the battle was Kendrick saying, "Hey, you fathered these kids, you fathered a daughter that you don't claim and possibly don't take care of." Maybe it's a dig. Maybe it's another Not Like Us moment. Maybe it's another you don't know nothing about that. You don't know nothing about that moment. I teach my kid to pray. You don't know nothing about that type of moment. The difference between me and you, life goes on. I need all my babies. All my kids is with me. I'm claiming all my kids. Maybe. You know what I'm saying? It tracks. But Kendrick would have to say that himself. I can't totally just put that on him, right? So woke up looking for the broccoli, high key, keep a horn on me like Kamazi, IP, ownership, the blueprint is by me, Mr. Get Off, I get off in my feet. Kamazi Washington, an amazing musician, saxophonist, frequent Kendrick collaborator, and just the wordplay, I keep a horn on me like Kamazi, saxophone, right? A blower, a gun, if you will. You know what I'm saying? So it's just wordplay, slick rap wordplay. And then I feel like the IP ownership line refers to Kendrick as the head of PG Lang. He now has his own label along with Dave Free. He's not an artist on TDE under Top, under Punch. He's the star artist of his label, but he's also the head executive, right? So he's his own executive. And this is the first album that isn't on TDE. This is the beginning of Kendrick as the executive. And he talks about it a little bit on the Heart Part 6 too, about why he wanted to leave TDE and start an executive life. So, I don't think that line is too deep, but I just think that's him getting his shit off. I think he feels empowered. IP, ownership, the blueprint is by me. I think, again, this is a new era. He's feeling empowered. It's not just Kendrick, the rapper, the creative. It's Kendrick, the executive. Yeaton couldn't try me in the tri-state. Buddy passed, but I get him splashed till he hydrated. Bounce out, no, he spooked town, eyes dilated. I got the money and the power, both gyrating. Feel like Yee is West Coast slang. You know what I'm saying? It's a West Coast slang. The tri-state refers to New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. We know that Kendrick stays in Brooklyn a lot. Even though Pennsylvania has their own tri-state, Cincinnati has their own tri-state. The tri-state is not exclusive to New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. But I think because Kendrick is spending a lot of time out here. You couldn't try me in the tri-state. So, and I don't know, maybe just talking about the bi-coastal, like West Coast. I'm out here in the tri-state. Like you couldn't try me over here. You definitely couldn't try me over there. I'm good on both coasts. It maybe is what it feels like. Buddy pass, I get him splash till he hydrated. Just that's my feet, right? You know what I'm saying? I keep the horn on me, like, wet them up is the slang, I guess. None of this is literal. You know what I'm saying? This is all just wordplay. The buddy pass, I'm assuming, when you go like to Splash Mountain or one of those water parks, you get in and then you get a buddy pass for your friend, but I get him splashed to hydrated. That's how I'm kind of reading it, but just wordplay, right? Like I don't think this is too deep. We go to verse 2, right? I'll skip over the hook. Again, I think a lot of this song is just designed to make you move. I think a lot of this song is designed to be outside. A lot of this album is designed for the West Coast and just give a West Coast a reason to celebrate, to dance, to be outside, to come together. And first and foremost, and then those of us that aren't from Cali, that aren't from LA, but enjoy hip hop and enjoy culture, to be fans of it. To say, oh shit, okay, they doing their thing over there, and I'm a fan of that. Just like I was a fan of Dr. Dre and Snoop growing up. Just like NWA inspired us no matter where you're from. So it's kind of like, hey, we doing our thing. Everybody, this is our thing, but everybody, if you get down, get down. Like that's how I kind of take this whole thing. But so verse 2, what the fuck? I got hits, I got bucks, I got new paper cuts. I got friends, I got foes, but they all sitting ducks. Hit his turf, get it cracking, double back like a deluxe. There's a perception that Kendrick isn't popping, right? That he doesn't have hits, and by extension, he doesn't have maybe the money, because he doesn't rap a whole lot about material things. Kendrick definitely has hits. Kendrick definitely sells records. Kendrick definitely does worldwide tours. Like the success that Kendrick has, he has money. And are we pocket watching? Do I know how much? Do we know the numbers behind his deals? That type of stuff doesn't leak, and because I feel like he keeps it close to the vest. But if you think Kendrick not getting money, like, but I got hits, I got bucks, I got new paper cuts, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just in case you thought it was something different. The standout line here to me is, at least in this very moment, is double back like a deluxe. Hit his turf and get it cracking, double back like a deluxe. Are we getting the deluxe version of GNX? Are we getting more tracks? The first line just works like double back like a deluxe. Hit his turf, like spin the block, like hit his turf, get it cracking, and then we're gonna come back to make sure the job is done, right? It's called spinning the block. That's what we say in NY. We're gonna double back. We're gonna come back, like a deluxe album in the same way. Yeah, I dropped the album, then I'm doubling back, I'm dropping the deluxe, I'm adding more tracks on top of that. Remind me of the LeBron meme with 2 Chainz when he said, yo, what if we put the album out and then 2 weeks later we come back like, bam, like, here's 2 more for you. Like LeBron invented the deluxe album. So that's all that is. But I digress. Is Kendrick dropping the deluxe is the real question. During an interview with Bootleg Kev earlier this week, shout out to my man Bootleg Kev, Lefty Gunplay, who is a feature on TV Off, said that him and Dot had did a couple of joints, and it sounds like not everything that they worked on during these sessions made the album. So they did a couple of joints, and Lefty Gunplay revealed to Bootleg Kev that Dot has a deluxe version coming. Is that true? We have to wait and see. I mean, that's confirmation. Like, Lefty's on the album. He kind of knows. He probably heard something. He's definitely been in the conversation. I don't know if he, I'm not saying he made that up. But when it comes to Kendrick, to me, he's unpredictable. I don't believe things unless Kendrick or Dave Free says it, just because they're so intentional. So Lefty Gunplay is saying it. What I'm saying is there's plans of a deluxe. There's a deluxe in the tux. There's a deluxe on somebody's hard drive. Whether Kendrick actually pulls the trigger and releases it as a deluxe, maybe there's a whole other project coming. That's been another rumor. We don't know, but it seems like there's gonna be more music coming, that he's gonna hit us again, or at least that's what the talk and the buzz is. So we'll see. 50 deep, but it ain't deep enough. Fuck a plea day. Go beat him up. Falling from a money tree and it grow through the months. Spit a loogie at the camera, speed off. Yes, us. I see some people speculating like it's 50 Deep about 50 Cent, who was pro Drake during this whole thing. Maybe, but it's also just a line that works. I don't necessarily think he's dissing 50. It's also a line that just very works on the surface, right? If you're talking about, like, because the whole thing is, he's in beef. I got friends, I got foes, but they all sitting ducks. So there's just me riding on my enemies. Hit his turf, get a crap, and double back like a deluxe. 50 deep, but it ain't deep enough. You roll 50 deep, especially when there's a war, there's a rivalry going on. Like, you don't go places alone. Okay, he's 50 deep, but it ain't deep enough. So the line works on the surface. Maybe there's a double there against Fifth. Maybe not. Like, I'm just not sold on that. I think the line just works. I think it's just a dope rap line. And it keeps the rhyme scheme going, right? Fuck a plea day, go beat him up. Like, also telling a story and keeping the rhyme scheme, right? Like sitting ducks, double back like a deluxe, deep enough, beat him up. Like the rhyme scheme keeps hitting, and it's also impressive within itself to just be able to tell a story but keep your rhyme scheme consistent. So, I think that's the real dope part about this. If there's any other hidden meaning here to it, dope. But the dope part is how consistent he can keep this rhyme scheme and keep the story going, and he doesn't break the theme, Falling from a money tree, it grow throughout the months, spit a loogie at the camera, speed off, yes, us. Money Tree is, of course, the classic Good Kid, Mad City track with J-Rock. And the spit a loogie at the camera conjures up images of Pac in the hockey jersey spitting at the camera. Classic. Like, we know what that is. And Pac, the influence that Pac has had on Kendrick throughout his career. Kendrick has never been shy about it, but particularly on this album, on a song like Reincarnated. I also saw people drawing connections. Shout out to my man Andres Tardillo, drawing connections between this album and Machiavelli, which may be true. I don't know. It could be coincidence, could be true, could be whatever. But we know Kendrick's admiration of Pac. So spit a loogie at the camera, speed off. Yes, that's definitely a Pac reference, right? Then we go to verse 3. Dunk, 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 baby, rocking it. Quid pro quo, what you want, because I'm watching it. Work on the floor. Let me know if you clocking it. Brody won't go, but I know that he popping it. It was both tickets on sale till I silenced it. I think this is a general line. Could apply to Cole. Could apply to Cole. Brody won't go, but I know that he popping it. So the whole thing about, Cole not just wanting to go further in the beef, in the rap beef. I just don't get the feeling that he's banging hard on Cole right now. I don't think Cole is a threat. I don't think he feels threatened by Cole. So there's no reason to, in essence, keep attacking Cole while he's down. I could be wrong, but that's my feeling. Could also apply to Drake, and these are the victory lap bars, right? Drake was talking big talk. Drop when he's gonna drop. Tell the little boy to drop something. When he's gonna drop. Hit the red button. Da-da-da-da. All of this, right? Drake was talking big talk. And on the Heart Part 6, kind of waved the white flag. And that was the end of the battle. Like, he gave up. So it was wolf tickets on sale till I silenced it. Like, I more so think this is the victory lap. And I don't even think that's a diss. This is just Kendrick telling you what happened. This is the victory lap. This is him beating his chest. Like, I just came off of the biggest battle in rap history. They tested me. They thought I wasn't going to go there. Some people didn't give me a chance to win. But Brody won't go, but I know that he popping it. It was wolf tickets on sale till I silenced it. I shut the whole shit down. I think that's what it is. Could be wrong. Again, only Kendrick knows. Pipe down, young. There's some whole other politics. Bitch with him and some bitch in him. That's a whole lot of bitch. To me, it's just a hilarious line. Bitch with him and some bitch in him. That's a lot of bitch. I think that's just funny as hell. I don't think that Kendrick gets enough credit for how funny he is. I think this line illustrates. I think Kendrick is. I mean, we see him as this serious character, and this serious guy, and he is very serious and very focused. But Kendrick is a funny dude. Like, Kendrick is a funny dude. This is his comedy. This is his sense of humor. Bitch with him and some bitch in him. That's a lot of bitch. Hilarious. Don't hit him. He got kids with him. My apologies. Ghetto child. It was Black and Miles with the Smirnoff. Yeehaw. We outside. Wody about to kill him off. Blaps on blaps. It's a fact. It's a brick of raw. Tell me why the fuck you use rap if it's fictional. Tell me why the fuck you use fed if you criminal. Why you rap if it's fictional could just apply to so many rappers right now. You know what I'm saying? Like damn near the whole game right now. Why do you rap if it's fictional? And tell me why the fuck you fed if you criminal. Like the indictments, the lyrics that are getting brought up in court, like people kind of telling themselves in the lyrics. I think he's talking about the whole state of rap culture right now, but could also apply to Drake and all the mob ties talk. Tell me why the fuck you rap if it's fictional. Why do you rap this if this isn't really who you are? Could very well be that. Again, only he knows. But I think this line applies damn near across the board for so much of mainstream rap. Hey, Doc, can I get a drop? I'm like, nah. This is a reference to me, to my brother, shout out my brother Charlemagne. If you look it up, the famous video where some dudes ran up on him and asked for a drop. He was like, yo, what's good, my G? Can I get a drop? And Charlemagne turns around and engages with him, and then they sneaked him. Someone ran up on him and took a swing. I think, to me, this is a reference to that. And just how dangerous it is out here, man. Somebody's gonna come up to you as a friend or a supporter or want one thing, but you could set yourself up to get hurt. They could sneak you. Charlemagne was alright. You know what I'm saying? There was nobody got hurt in that video. But it's a video that went viral. Hey Doc, can I get a drop? I'm like, nah. You know what I'm saying? So that's that. Ace Moon Coon from West Side to Senegal. It's a full moon. Let the wolves out. I've been a dog. This song is fun to me. It's not as lyrically dense as some of the other Kendrick songs. And maybe there are other creators, there are other people who will really dig into these bars, and there may be more meaning to it, but I gotta feel it. You know what I'm saying? For me, I don't know if it's as lyrically dense. He definitely has denser songs lyrically with more meaning, but it's still bars for sure. There's still a lyrical song. That's not what I'm saying. But he's saying things like very directly. Then we have the video, which has so many Easter eggs and references, directed by Calmatic. So I think the song, coupled with the video, is what gives it its meaning and what gives it its intention. I wouldn't be surprised if he kind of thought about the video at the same time as writing the music. Maybe not. You know what I'm saying? But I think the audio and the video is what makes this. The video takes it to another level and makes it even richer. So boom, I'm gonna talk about the video a bit. To start off, the setting of the video is very similar and in homage to the Roots, the Next Movement music video. Questlove acknowledged that, and acknowledged Dot for that and thanked them. I was a big fan of the Roots, still am. I think that was off of the Things Fall Apart album. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was 99. But the Next Movement video. Now remember, during the battle. But this is why it relates to the Kendrick. During the battle, Questlove has said this. He said, nobody won the war. This wasn't about skill. This was a wrestling match level mudslinging and takedown by any means necessary. Women and children and actual facts. Be damned. Same audience wanting blood will soon put up RIP posts like they weren't a part of the problem. Hip hop is truly dead. And people came for Quest. I don't think Questlove was entirely wrong in the fact that this battle carried an emotional weight. And a lot of us talk about that Friday night where Family Matters and Meet the Grams dropped and how it was hard to listen to. I know I certainly spoke about how hard it was to listen to. Not saying that the records weren't dope, but it was heavy. And I do agree that we have to watch that these things don't get too far and spill out into the street. And I think it is a fine line. I think it could go there. There's always the potential that it can go there, especially if you listen to this album. Kendrick's talking about, you put money in the street, lucky that it didn't get in the hands of a crash test dummy. You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. Like it could go there. So I don't think Quest was wrong for this. I disagree. And I've disagreed where he said that there was where he said there was no skill involved. There was absolutely skill involved in this. And I don't think hip hop is dead. Even still, Quest took a lot of criticism for this. And I think Kendrick using a Roots video as reference here for the set of just how this Squabble Up video looks is very deliberate. It's sending a message to Quest, and I don't know what message it's sending. It might be a bit of a troll. It could be a bit of a troll. Could also be like, hey man, I see you, OG. I hear you. I know whatever you feel or what you felt in the moment, and hey, I got love for you too. Hey, what you was doing, I saw that too coming up, and that influenced me. I don't know, only Kendrick knows, but it's definitely a reference to the Roots video. Isaac Hayes III also weighed in on the Drake Kendrick beef as it was happening in real time, and he got some pushback from fans because it seemed as if he was siding with Drake, so he caught some heat from some diehard Dot fans. I'm not gonna get too much into what Isaac Hayes III said, like, and whether it was warranted. I'm just telling you the fact of he said he weighed in, and people seen what his weigh-in was as a kind of anti-Kendrick thing, where even he had to defend it as, yo, I'm not anti-Kendrick, I'm just saying. But in the video, Kendrick referenced his dad's classic 1971 album, Isaac Hayes, classic 1971 album, Black Moses. It was an album that we all grew up with because our parents had it, or our grandparents had it. This was an album that I definitely saw in the crib as a kid growing up. There was the Black Panther sculpture in the video. My grandmother had a small version of that on her glass table, on her coffee table when I was a kid. I remember that. There's a nod to Anthony, the little kid from Menace to Society that's riding his bike. And in the last scene, man, it was a powerful scene of Menace to Society. 90s, West Coast based street film, man. One of the most powerful films I ever seen in my life was Menace to Society. So there's a nod to Anthony, the little kid riding his bike. And in the last scene, the drive-bys coming. They coming to look for Kane to shoot him up. And they're doing a drive-by, and Kane sees the car turn the corner, and he sees Anthony riding his bike, and he runs to him and rushes to cover him and jump over him during the drive-by and shield him from any gunfire. And spoiler alert, Kane dies, Anthony lives, and so, that's in the video. That's such a powerful scene. You know what I'm saying? And one of the most powerful scenes, again, I've ever seen in movies. And so the kid is there. They make a little kid look like Anthony from Menace Society. And, and at times with the lyrics when Dot said, where he says, don't hit him, he got kids with him. And so with just one line and one flash of this little kid, again, it's a cultural reference. If you know Menace Society, the feeling of what that is all comes pouring back. The scene with the IRP candles, cultural. You know what I'm saying? Like, this one hit me because we had a candlelighting session for my man Hovain on Monday, which was the 2-year anniversary of his passing. That was the same day this video dropped. You know what I'm saying? So I'm watching the video, and I know I'm on my way to light some candles in front of my man's mural because he's not here no more. So again, that kind of affected me. It's cultural. We get the Nate Dogg G-Funk Classics CD hanging from the chandelier. That's Nate Dogg, a legend. You know what I'm saying? That's his debut. We get a nod to Cholo culture, the Mexican culture, the brown culture on the West Coast. Kendrick is trying to bring Black and brown together on the West Coast. That's a part of the reason why he's collaborating with artists like Lefty Gunplay. Like I think there's a play there to further unify LA. You know what I'm saying? So we get a nod to that. The Jesus Saves Gangsters 2 sign. Shout out to my friend Jenny. Jenny's legit on Instagram, man. Amazing creative, amazing photographer. She took this pic back in 2018 of my man holding the gangsters, Jesus Save Gangsters 2 sign. And, not saying that Kendrick took the reference directly from Jenny's pic. This is something, if you're in LA, you've seen this man, you've seen this sign. It's culture, and he put it in the video, man. So, but I just want to shout out my friend Jenny, amazing photographer. The Soul Train board. Does this really unscramble into a statement, or is it just Kendrick just messing with us? I'm not 100% sure. But we used to watch Soul Train growing up. The Ice-T, the Power album cover, Darlene Ortiz was the model. So there's a reference there. Taz Arnold is in the video, who Kendrick has said out of his own mouth that Taz Arnold is on his Mount Rushmore of style. and Taz also with his rings, which is a homage to Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing. We see the Pan-African flag, you know, the Marcus Garvey flag, the red representing bloodshed for black liberation, the black just representing the strength of black people in the black community, and the green representing the natural wealth that Africa holds. You know, so again, if you grew up in culture, like you see this flag, you know what this flag is. You know that there's some people who might not get it. You know, this is an extension of Not Like Us. Like part of it is like the attack. Ayo, you're not like us. But I think the other part that makes Not Like Us powerful is then putting on display the cultural references that bring people together, that rally people around the common experience, the things that don't need to be said, the things that you see automatically and you're like, oh, I get that because I grew up there and I grew up with that. So I think that's the power of this video. I think this is how this video and this song is an extension of Not Like Us. How to Be More Like Kendrick for Dummies, that book is just comedy to me. I think that's dope. Again, part of, you know, Kendrick's sense of humor. There's LA culture in here. There's Bay Area culture in here. There's a ton in here, but to me, like I said, it is unifying, particularly for the West Coast. I think for the West Coast first and foremost, but maybe not solely. There are some overall cultural references that you just get if you recognize it, if you're black and of the culture, but it's all centered in the West Coast. To me, this is, like I said, is the flip side of Not Like Us. And, you know, if you're not like us, but hey, here's the celebration of us. Here's what it looks like. Like, it's not all attacking. Like, Not Like Us is attacking, but it's not all attacking. It's not just a diss. It's also a unification. You know what I'm saying? And the Not Like Us video actually brought people together and was a celebration. Here's what us looks like. Here's what us feels like. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like this video just illustrates Kendrick's idea of us. You know what I'm saying? Kendrick's concept of us. So amazing, man. Like, I'm into it. I fuck with it. I think it's dope. It sounds good. Shit make you want to move. Makes you think too. And most importantly, I think the power of all music is that it makes you feel something. So that was my Squabble Up breakdown. Like, subscribe, hit me in the comments. Let me know what you think about all of this. And into the next one, all right? Peace.